Welcome to Above Par. I'm your host, Kathy Hartwood. I show you how to take more of your talent to the golf course without practicing harder, taking more lessons, or buying new equipment. I show you how to end the frustration of underperforming so you can start playing to your potential. This is where you are going to learn how to think above par so you can play below par. Let's get to it. Hello, my golf friend. Welcome back to Think Above Par. I am super happy that you're here. I hope you're having an amazing summer. And it's that time of year where there's a lot of tournaments happening, club championships, some USGA events, kids are going back to school. And I was thinking, I could spend probably 40 weeks, 40 episodes going through all the wins right now that people share with me that I could share with you at the beginning of a podcast, because I like to do that. I like to acknowledge the impact not only that you are having on your golf game and your personal life, by the way. I get those messages too. By listening to this podcast, by coming and getting coached by me, by joining your mental caddy, or by taking one of my programs or going to one of my workshops. And I know all of you are not sharing your wins with me. And when I say win, I want to be very, very clear. This is not having a trophy in your hand. That's not what it's about. Sometimes a win is playing with those people that annoy the heck out of you and you made it through the round. You didn't spend the whole time while you were playing in their head, thinking about what they're doing or letting them annoy you. Sometimes it's about stretching yourself, signing up for a qualifier that you've never done before and managing your mind through it and qualifying. Sometimes it can be just stretching yourself to sign up and not qualifying, but just stretching yourself and witnessing what your brain does at those moments where you put yourself out there. It's a huge win. At the start of every call that I have in your mental caddy, I ask people to share their wins. And the reason is because one, it validates the work that they're doing, but it lets the other people see and find the wins in themselves. Because we have wins. We think that we need to have a trophy in our hand to prove that we are doing the work or that we're having success or that it's working. That's not true. I mean, there's only one person who wins the tournament. There could be over 100 people in the tournament. That's day in and day out or week in and week out on the tour. So I want to spend some time right here sharing with you some of the wins of my clients. And that includes whether you're a personal client that I coach one-on-one, whether you've taken one of my programs, Unleash Your Golf, or you came to my Mental Your Golf Brain workshop, or you're a member of Your Mental Caddy, which if you're not a member of Your Mental Caddy, what are you doing? This is where I take this stuff and we just take it to the next level and you get to work on it and you get coached and you learn so much more. I go deeper and I have lots of amazing things coming up in the next couple months. So make sure you check that link in the description. But I have clients who are playing in USGA events. Some just finished the USGA Women's Senior out in California. I have a handful of clients who are playing in the US Women's Senior Amateur next month in Virginia. I have junior golfers who are starting high school golf. I have high school players who just got a scholarship for college next year. I have clients who are just starting for the first time playing college golf. I have clients who their win was getting through playing in the parent-child event and managing their mind around their parent. I have clients who play in member events, and it was about not letting their partner bother them because that partner's bothered them so many times before. I have tour players who are making the cut for the first time. I got an email recently, right before I was going on live for Your Mental Caddy when we went on a group coaching call. And she sent me a note and she said she wanted to cancel her membership in Your Mental Caddy. I said, not a problem. Thank you for being a member. All the best of luck with your golf. And she said, I studied like crazy for the last month in preparation for the National Senior Games, formerly the Senior Olympics. Results attached. There was a gold medal on a ribbon, and she won the gold medal for ages 80 to 84 in Des Moines, Iowa in July. She said, I spread your word wherever possible. So I invited her on the Your Mental Caddy group call that it was starting in like 5 minutes. And I gave her the Zoom link and she jumped on and she shared her story with everybody there. And she said that she went through my Unleash Your Golf program and watched all the courses and the information that I have inside of the membership. And she wanted to cancel because she won. I would think that would be a good time to stay a member, but that's okay. She won her medal. She's done. So she came on and shared her story. It was so great to hear. And she sent me another email How much fun was that? Thank you for the invite and the chance to give a few insights from my golf life. Keep up your great work. I should also mention that I use your steer training all the time. Review the videos and steps, etc. The best part is that I've shared it with my 3 grandsons, all heading back to college this week, and talk about how they can use it in their lives. By the way, sorry about saying I fall asleep listening to your podcasts. They really are nuggets that I replay all the time. It was really funny because on the call, she said that she plays my podcast all the time and she falls asleep listening to it. I was like, I am so sorry that you fall asleep listening to my voice. That cannot be the most soothing thing, but she does that. And I think that's awesome. So your wins don't have to be qualifying for a USGA event or playing in one, winning a gold medal in the senior games, making a cut at a tour event, or some of the wins that we talk about in your mental caddy are just wins with our own personal relationship with ourselves and how we don't beat ourselves up for bad rounds or bad days, how we are able to manage people that normally would bug the heck out of us. And people inside of your mental caddy have had a lot of growth and continue to do the process of monitoring our minds and managing our thoughts and emotions, and things always come up. We get to listen to other people and their wins. That's why I'm sharing them here with you, is I want you to find your wins, but we share them with other people and we can find the wins in ourselves. And we learn more and more about ourselves all the time. One of the topics that came up was someone listening to their brain say, I have a good round going, don't blow it. And witnessing what they did after that and don't make a mistake. And we talked that through. And then everybody in the group, can you relate to this, are nodding their head. At some point in your golf game, you've had that conversation about, I have a good round going, don't blow it. One of the girls that I coach, she's 19. She hasn't been able to put 2 nines together, good nines together. And she keeps blowing up on the back 9 because she goes into the back with the thought, this could be a really good round. And while it's true, it wasn't serving her because she'd have a blow up on the back 9. And she sent me a text the other day that brought tears to my eyes. And she said, I finally did it. I put 2 good 9s together and I shot 2 under par. Thank you so much for your help. Right? When we can have these wins and prove to ourselves that it's possible, the things that we didn't think were possible are possible, it's such a great feeling. So if you're listening to this and you're not part of any of my programs, or I don't get to see your face in a private call or in your mental caddy or in any of my programs or workshops, I know you're having wins too, and some of you are sharing them with me, but I'd love to hear them. And I want to hear any kind of win, because actually my favorite ones are the wins when your relationship with yourself shifts. When you get to say, I'm proud of myself for how I showed up and how I managed my mind. It's not about the trophy. It's not about the low score, because those will be gone in a moment. It was about proving to yourself that you could manage your mind and your emotions, that you can do hard things, that you can stretch yourself and become uncomfortable and grow. It's about shifting your relationship with yourself. And that to me is the best part. And actually that to me is what it's all about. So find your wins, my friends, big or small. Even if you didn't win the trophy, even if you didn't qualify or make the team or make the cut, find the wins, because it'd be so easy for your brain to go down a crappy path. And that's what makes me think about Tommy Fleetwood, who just won this past week after having some really heartbreaking losses, where watching it from the cheap seats where we are, watching it looking like he maybe is choking going down the end stretch. If you were rooting for Tommy Fleetwood, as was I, if you listen to some of his interviews afterwards, he found the wins and stayed positive and hopeful because he loves the process. He loves becoming a better version of himself. He loves going and practicing and getting better, going to work, as he calls it. Because if you do that, if you give up, if you quit, if you beat yourself up, if you feel sorry for yourself, if you start telling yourself the story that it's never going to happen for me, that it's too hard, or I'll be uncomfortable, or I'll embarrass myself, or if you tell yourself all the stories that our brains love to tell us, it will become true for you. It'll take so much longer for you to find that success, those wins. And just like Tommy, he had a community of people supporting him, because it's not easy to do this on your own. So I want to share your wins. If you want to join me in your mental caddy, you can share your win with everybody else and listen to their wins and see yourself in those stories so that you can see what's possible for you too. All right, my friends, have a beautiful week, and thank you for listening. I'll talk to you next Wednesday. Bye.